Yo, Gary B, the casual comic guy, you're getting this Thor issue 1 from South Africa. Enjoy your top 10 trendings list. Comic fam, back at the table like we do every week. Hit the subscribe button with the Overstreet Price Guide advisor, Russ the Comic Sensei. How are you feeling, my friend?
You know what, Tom? I am so excited to be here because the DC fandom happened this weekend, and there was a good amount of buzz, but not a lot of expectations, and I think all of us were absolutely blown away with how great this was this weekend.
We got a video actually sponsored by DC Comics, by Warner Brothers officially. I got to cover the Black Adam panel.
So cool.
Amazing. Comic fam, hit the like button. Hit that subscribe because we cover this trending list courtesy of Key Collector Comics every single week. We cover the books that are spiking in the market based off of news, announcements, and today we got a lot of DC stuff to talk about. So buckle up. Let's chat about an Image comic book.
Number 10 on the list, we have a not DC book. Thank goodness. And for those of you who've been sleeping under rocks, you didn't know that this last week, Spawn number 309, cover B, was the return of Gunslinger Spawn. This book is hot. We knew it was going to be hot a couple weeks ago when they started showing the art. A bunch of people were trying to turn in orders on this book.
McFarlane cover.
It's a Todd McFarlane cover. So we are seeing $20 sales, raw copies again out of the gate, and a high sale for $35 raw.
Anyone could have ordered this. I'm assuming you got a bunch and you put them up on your wall for what? What's the trend now? You put it up on your wall for $30 for a cover you can order?
Such a crazy thing about this book. I actually got a bunch of emails from people this week who tried to turn in orders 3 weeks ago. We ordered 16 copies. We got 7. I'm not quite certain why, because we got every copy we ordered of cover A, every copy we ordered of cover C, and if you look on eBay right now, cover A and cover C are still selling for cover price, but for some reason, Midtown's got these, and they're selling them through their website, and other places are selling them online, and we just got allocated. I'm not quite certain why we didn't get all of our copies, but it's a weird one. I'm hearing lots of stories of message boards and Discord groups that are shops talking about how they didn't get the 100% of copies they ordered.
Considering your situation, I think it makes the demand a little bit more understandable, even though it appears to be a little high.
Well, I really like Spawn. I think this Todd McFarlane cover is a really cool book. But I mean, you've got other great covers like 306 cover D, which all of a sudden is spiking. Gunslingers on that cover too. But there wasn't a buzz about it before it happened. So we're noticing that a lot of the Spawn fans are kind of getting the idea that these books are low print run and that there is a demand there.
Number 9 on this list, we have Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, issue number 35, the first appearance of the Weasel. Russ, how did we not call this spec?
I really don't have any idea. I mean, really, this is a character that no one's thinking about, but this run has already shown us a lot of other great first appearances. You have Slipknot, you have Plastique, you have Felicity. I mean,
yeah, dude, it's like surprising how many first appearances are in this run, but like other characters that are gonna be in the Suicide Squad, there's a lot of like D-list villains and anti-heroes and just straight up like red shirts that get killed off so quick in comics you don't expect them to see in the movie. And there was no one specking that Sean Gunn, the youngest brother of the director James Gunn, is going to be doing the voice of this character. It's super strange.
Again, this is not a character that anyone would have expected, but it's nice to see Sean Gunn in this one because he's an actor I like.
This character only had a couple of appearances in comic books before he got killed off. $18 average sales, $25 highs. And this won't be the last book that's going to be on here because of DC fandom this week, because it's an increase of copies sold of 1,500% since the news was dropped last Saturday.
If you watched our trending video last week presented by Key Collector, go check out that app, use code TOM101. You should know about Shazam number 8. But we have another Black Adam appearance because, well, The Rock showed up at DC fandom and decided to drop some bombs.
That's right. We're chatting about number 8 on the list. DC Comics presents issue number 49, the first book that I decided to like really chat about after reacting live on camera to the DC fandom last week. Now, unfortunately, that's copyrighted material. It's all licensed, so it had to be removed from the internet. But it essentially went down like this. Watching The Rock chat about all of what's to come with the Black Adam movie, and then hitting the community, not just with some spec that we're going to get to later on this list, but also straight up conversations about the relationship between Black Adam and Superman, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Therefore, DC Comics presents the first time you got Superman and Shazam teaming up to battle the Black Adam. This book is got so much spec reason behind it.
So 650% increase since last week in sales, $45 for Raw, and we're seeing a $380 sale for a 9.8. This is a great book. DC Comics Presents is a fantastic run with a lot of great first appearances in it as well. I mean, you're looking at the Teen Titans and the He-Man. There's Ambush Bug first appearance. There's a bunch of great stuff in that run, and this Black Adam one is a fantastic cover. It's just a great book, and thanks, Rock, for helping propel this to the forefront now.
Dude, this was going for $200 at 9.8 just 6 weeks ago.
Number 7 on the list, we have notification of a new live-action Powerpuff Girls television show. So we have Cartoon Network starring number 1, which is the first appearance of the team of Powerpuff Girls in a comic book.
That's right. And this right here is optioned for the CW, a live action adaptation. Dude, this could be good, man, because CW is like, it's like a lighthearted superhero narratives for the most part. And Powerpuff Girls was my jam next to Dexter's Lab and Courage the Cowardly Dog and Ed, and Eddie and that whole 90s lineup.
Yeah, Tom, there are just people your age that have that nostalgia feel for comic books like this. I mean, and that's the reason why we're looking at 1,100% increase since last week's sale. $30 raw, and we've got a $250 high sale of a 9.8.
Well, heck, dude, when you look at what the box sets of the DVDs are selling for, it's like $300 on eBay, man. And this was a Cartoon Network series of comics. So yes, you have the first team appearance in issue 1. They would make their second appearance in comics in issue 5. Not just that, issue 1 was sold in multi-packs that you can still find sealed. Some spec value there. But tell them about the Whopper. Tell them about the Burger King.
So the fact that they gave away a copy of this comic, the Cartoon Network number 1 Powerpuff Girls comic, as a big kids giveaway at Burger King, I mean, this is going to be scarce. Not necessarily the print run, but the condition. Dude. Can you imagine every single kid with their burgers and, rolling it up and cramming it?
They put them in bags, I'm sure. They just shove them in that bag.
Right, they just kind of shoved it in the paper bag.
Seal the bag.
So if you look at them on eBay right now, there's a copy that's in VG, there's a copy that's in VG Plus. I mean, no one is describing the Burger King versions as near mint and gradable. Every single one of them is really low grade. So if you could find a high grade of the Burger King, that's going to end up going for a lot.
Number 6 on this list, back to talking about the Black Adam from DC fandom. We're putting JSA issue number 1, Alex Ross Goodness. First appearance of a few characters, but one in particular, Cyclone, the granddaughter of my favorite android in DC Comics. I think he rivals the Vision. I'm probably pissing a bunch of people's off, but Red Tornado is so dope. Anyways, I digress because we got some information on the JS freaking A. Last week, The Rock blowing people's minds, dropping Boss Logic art that is so damn good of Hawkman, of Atom Smasher, of course, The Rock, and Dr. Fate, and last but not least, the Cyclone. Pushing this book and spec validation now feels good to new grounds.
Now, this has made the list before, but it's an 880% increase since last week with an $18 average sale. I mean, this book is picking up steam, and it's great to know that there's going to be a little bit more Black Adam spec on this. $150 in a 9.8, and it's been selling solidly at $150 9.8 for the last 3 or 4 months. So it's not going down. A lot of times you see a book like this get soft. This one hasn't.
Number 5 on the list, we got Superboy issue number 9. We knew King Shark was coming, but we didn't know which version of the character we're going to get. It's going to be savage like the CW. Is he going to be lighthearted like the Harley Quinn animated series? Well, he's waving at the camera. He's looking pretty approachable and very scary at the same time. We know that Steve Agee is going to be taking on this character, and now that the community saw him in the trailer, we're seeing an increase of copies sold to 400% in 7 days. $30 average sales for the book, and a high at 9.8, back up to right around $130.
Now, it's great to see this book selling at $130 because this is probably our longest spec for the Suicide Squad. We've been talking about King Shark for almost a year and a half now, but people have to keep in mind that there is that super rare DC Universe variant. Tom and I made a video about this almost 2 years ago, and this book, $120 for a graded 9.8 like 3 months ago. That's a steal. Whoever picked that book up, oh my gosh, that's going to go up a lot because there's just not a lot of them out there.
Bottom line, why is it important to be hunting for these particular logo variants?
So, Tom, a lot of these are more akin to like the third and fourth prints that we're seeing from Marvel right now. The print runs are really, really low, and they were offered at like department stores, Walmarts, Jafco's, Bestco's. They're just places that you wouldn't expect to get comic books that were kind of getting comics after the whole market was picking up steam.
Number 4 on the list, we have a comic book that I legit woke up last Saturday morning thinking about. This happens to me sometimes, Russ. Do you ever just like wake up thinking about comic books?
Yes.
It's like a weird thing.
All the time. It's really bad.
Wonder Woman issue number 9, the first appearance of Barbara Minerva, going full cheetah on the list because I'm happy to say that post the trailer drop, 1984, man, Wonder Woman cannot come soon enough. Barbara Minerva goes full cheetah, pushing this book up 1,100% increase in copies sold in 7 days since, $30 average sales and 9.8s for both 7 and number 9, both spec worthy, both George Perez goodness hitting about that $150 marker.
I was terrified that they were going to make her look like a reject from the new Cats movie. And honestly, this does look sleeker. It looks better. You know they're doing a CG cheetah costume, but it looks good. And with Gal Gadot doing such a fantastic job as Wonder Woman, we know it's going to be a good movie.
Let's chat about number 3 on the list because this book was surprising us when the interest was there early on with these particular prices, but now Static 1 is shooting up even more.
Now, Tom and I talked about this a couple months ago, and I think we were shocked at that point in time that they were in the $20 to $30 range. Now we're looking at this book. It's a 900% increase.
Apparently
over
we
last
were wrong,
week.
dude.
My gosh, $50 raw sales, and we're looking at high sales. Get this. There was a 9.8 that went $324 for the blue cover, $280 9.8 for the red cover, but there was a raw of the red cover that went for $177. A raw copy of this book, $177. So we know that Milestone Media is coming back and releasing new comic books.
Yeah, they're going digital too.
They are. Static's probably going to have a new comic book. Icon's going to have a new comic book. Some of these intellectual properties that they have. But right now, we're just looking at these sales go through the roof. One of the main reasons I'm just mind blown about this is you need to take into account that in April 1993, when this book came out, a couple other really big books came out, namely the white-bagged Superman, Adventures of Superman number 500, with a 3.4 million comic print run, and another one that Tom and I like to talk about called Turok the Dinosaur Hunter with a 1.5 million print run. This is the same month. So if you look down the whole list, Static number 1 is number 74 on the list with 125,000 copies sold. Okay, so that seems like a really high print run compared to some of the things nowadays, but really small compared to what was happening at that point in time. So for the era, it is a low print run book for a book that's 27 years old.
The long-term staying power to a character that's beloved by a lot of people, a franchise and publishing company that's highly respected, with rumors that we cannot find any validation for or anything concrete yet, that Static may be gracing a screen at some point.
If a movie does get confirmed, I can only imagine the heights that this book is going to reach. I'm mind blown at where it is now, and I guess there is no ceiling.
We got a lot of DC news last weekend, and one that we were all waiting on was any updates on this Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, Batman movie. And we spec'd about Long Halloween. We spec'd about Batman Court of Owls. And I'll tell you one thing, no one was spec'ing on Batman Ego coming at the list at number 2.
I heard this title, and I'm sitting here thinking, do I know this book? Have I owned this book?
The first thing you're like, dude, that's not a normal comic book. Isn't
No.
that like a prestige?
Right. I knew it was a prestige, but I don't remember having these or even really reading it. So I have to go out and find a copy. And since it's a 2,200% increase over last week and they're going for 85 raw with a high sale of 100, I'm having trouble finding one.
Post-trailer dropping, Matt Reeves went on record and said, yeah, this book inspired him in the creation of this movie.
And after all of the information this weekend, I am getting really, really excited about this Robert Pattinson Batman. I just am. The Matt Reeves stuff. It just seems so cool. What does the community think? What do you guys think of that's going to happen?
Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll enter you to win this Comictom Milgie Comics exclusive of Undiscovered Country. And I want to know what you think about this because I think we may be getting one of the best adaptations of Batman to date. Is that crazy? I'm a fan of Jared Leto Joker, so my opinion only matters so much.
Truthfully, I think if you and I were in charge of the Batman universe, we would keep Jared Leto's Joker and get rid of a lot of these other superfluous characters.
I want more Jared Leto Joker.
I want Jared Leto Joker and not Weasel. How about that? Sorry, Sean Gunn.
No. All right, rounding out the list at number 1. Oh my gosh, Comic Fan, hit the subscribe button. We make this list every single week. It's the trending comics in the comic book market, and there's a lot to take in. There's a lot of announcements, a lot of things that moves comic books around, and we get some things wrong.
We were so wrong.
Everybody was wrong.
Idris Elba. We're all wrong. I'm so sorry.
Oh, is it going to be Vigilante? Nope.
What was he growling for?
Oh, he's going to be Bronze Tiger.
We have no idea.
I never thought I was going to be right. I actually think he was just channeling his Jungle Book voiceover. Because he did the tiger voice for no reason because he's going to be Bloodsport.
Who is Bloodsport?
I don't really know. He gets killed off so quick. We're talking about Superman issue number 4, volume 2. Jumping on the list with, get this Comic Fam, over 170 copies sold of this comic book.
I don't know.
Okay, this character, he is frustrated after his brother goes to war for him and gets killed. He has a lot of inner turmoil. And Lex Luthor, he's like, you know what? Here's some Kryptonian bullets. Go on a killing spree and take down the Man of Steel. I don't think Superman's showing up in Suicide Squad, and this character gets killed off rather quickly in the comic books. This is something I want to kick to the community. This is an interesting spec because, yes, we have Idris Elba. Could this be a legendary role? Could it like do a permanent key, milestone event for this book? Or is this comic, just like others on this very list, ones that may not hold their value long term because they just are going to come and go? Because Suicide Squad is filled with a lot of characters that we're being told to expect to go.
Well, we know that James Gunn told us not to get attached to anyone. We saw what happened to Slipknot almost immediately in the last movie, and these other characters don't have a whole lot of appearances. I mean, Tom kind of mentioned the whole red shirt idea where these guys might just be coming in to be, sacrificial lambs for the greater good of Suicide Squad.
Well, this book's attainable, which is why we're seeing $20 average sales for this comic book. But hold up, there was a 9.8 sale that started the height of the market for this book, but it happened before DC Fandom and it went for $90.
That's really weird. It was $90 a day before the DC Fandom, but if you look at the recent sales, there was one a few months before that was at $75. So it's kind of keeping in track with that. We're going to have to see where this book lands as we get closer to the release of Suicide Squad 2.
Did you watch any of these trailers, Comic Fam? Did you experience DC Fandom? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure you win this giveaway. Subscribe, slap the like button, and then, as always,
geek responsibly.
Enough said. Comic Fam, we're doing a secret variant! But it's not really a secret variant because I just had to announce it because I accidentally posted it on the website. All right, we have TMNT issue number 109. We made color versions and black and white versions. John Boy Myers team up, Comic Fam. What is going on? We got Raphael looking so dope on this cover.
This secret variant was so hot, we could not keep it under wraps. We all try to hold these in as long as we can. No, it had to be turtle out of the bag, right out of the gate. This book is hot, and for those of you who are signed up to the Mystery Mail Call, you're going to get a copy. Is it going to be the color one? Is it going to be the black and white one? We don't know, but you better sign up because this thing will sell out.
And everyone gets a copy, but only one of them. I want to make that clear. Comictom101.com to join, or just hit the link in the description. We're seeing issues 7 of the first appearance of Barbara Minerva. God, I got to try that whole thing again. That was really bad.